Imagine seeing a news story about yourself splashed across every major outlet, and thinking it's not just wrong, a simple mistake, but actively damaging to your reputation and your future. The feeling of being misrepresented on such a grand scale must be incredibly frustrating. Now imagine you're Donald Trump, a figure known for his assertive responses and legal battles. He's no stranger to controversy, and he's certainly not one to back down from a fight. What do you do when you feel wronged by the media? You sue. You launch a full-scale legal offensive to defend your name and seek redress for the perceived harm. In a stunning move that sent shockwaves through the media landscape, Paramount, the massive entertainment conglomerate behind CBS News, ultimately paid Trump $16 million to settle the dispute. A staggering sum, to say the least. That's not a typo, a misprint, or an exaggeration. $16 million transferred from one powerful entity to another just to bring an end to a protracted legal fight over the accuracy and fairness of a news report. This isn't a minor correction buried on page 6, it's a headline-grabbing settlement that has everyone in the media, legal, and political worlds talking and speculating about the implications. The legal battle had dragged on for years, filled with filings, depositions, and intense arguments, but with one massive check, a financial instrument representing a significant transfer of wealth, it was finally over. For Trump, it's undoubtedly a public victory, a vindication of his claims and a powerful message to his supporters. For Paramount, it's a costly decision, a calculated risk, to close the book on a potentially damaging and distracting legal saga. When that much money changes hands over a news story, when millions of dollars are at stake, you know the implications are far-reaching and the stakes are incredibly huge. It's rare, almost unprecedented, for a former president of the United States to successfully get a major media company to pay such a substantial sum over its reporting practices. This case isn't just about Trump and his personal grievances. It's about the ongoing power struggle, the delicate balance between the press and the powerful individuals and institutions they cover. Paramount, after weighing the potential risks and rewards, decided it was ultimately better to pay the hefty sum than to continue fighting the legal battle in court. The message this sends, the cost of getting a story wrong, of facing accusations of bias or inaccuracy, or even just the perception of it, just skyrocketed to a whole new level. This landmark settlement, this $16 million handshake, will undoubtedly be studied and debated for years to come in law schools and journalism classes across the nation. In the end, after all the arguments and legal maneuvering, sometimes the final, most impactful word is written not in a legal brief, but on a check for $16 million. It all started with a 2023 60 Minutes segment digging into Trump's international business deals. The show raised questions about his overseas partners and funding, hinting at shady connections. Trump's team called it a hit job, claiming interviews were edited to make him look bad and that key evidence was ignored. The lawsuit accused CBS of acting with malice, setting the stage for a high-profile legal showdown. 60 Minutes isn't just any news program, it's legendary for its tough, in-depth journalism. It has a reputation for holding power to account. So, when Donald Trump decided to sue, it wasn't just another lawsuit. It was a direct challenge to the core of CBS's reputation and journalistic integrity. The crux of the matter was whether Trump could prove that 60 Minutes knowingly aired falsehoods or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. If Trump succeeded, it wouldn't just be a legal victory, it would devastate CBS's credibility and cast a long shadow over its future reporting. The legal fight that ensued was incredibly intense, a true heavyweight battle in the courts. Trump's lawyers went on the offensive, demanding access to internal CBS emails and communications, seeking any evidence of bias or malicious intent. CBS, in turn, mounted a vigorous defense, fiercely protecting its reporting and asserting its journalistic privilege to maintain the confidentiality of sources and editorial processes. Both sides were acutely aware that they faced huge risks with potentially far-reaching consequences. For Trump, a loss in court could significantly undermine his fake news narrative and weaken his ability to control the media narrative. Meanwhile, CBS faced the very real risk of a public trial, potentially exposing sensitive internal information and the possibility of massive legal damages. Every legal move, every filing, and every statement was closely watched and dissected by the media and the public alike. As the prospect of a trial loomed larger, the stakes kept rising, creating an atmosphere of intense legal tension. For Trump, a victory in this case would have been more than just a legal win. It would have been a powerful vindication. For CBS, a loss had the potential to shake the very foundation of investigative journalism, impacting its ability to report without fear of reprisal. In the end, it was a high-stakes chess match, a complex and strategic game played out in the legal arena, where one miscalculated move or one critical mistake could prove to be catastrophic for either side. That's precisely why the eventual settlement came as such a dramatic and unexpected resolution to this high-profile legal battle. Paramount settled, bringing an end to a high-profile legal battle that had captured national attention. The media giant stated that the decision to settle was made to avoid the significant distraction and considerable cost associated with a potentially lengthy trial. They emphasized that this settlement should not be interpreted as an admission of guilt or wrongdoing on their part. Trump's team, however, swiftly declared it a total vindication, claiming a resounding victory over what he frequently refers to as fake news. His supporters enthusiastically embraced this narrative, viewing it as a triumph against perceived media bias, while critics expressed deep concern that the settlement could have a chilling effect on investigative reporting, potentially discouraging journalists from pursuing challenging stories. $16 million isn't just a payout, it's a substantial sum that carries significant weight. It's a warning shot, clearly audible, to newsrooms everywhere, signaling the potential financial risks associated with aggressive reporting. Will this settlement lead journalists to become more cautious and self-censor their work? Or conversely, will it embolden powerful figures to pursue legal action more frequently, using lawsuits as a tool to silence critical voices? The delicate balance between maintaining a free press and holding the powerful accountable has undoubtedly become even more complicated and precarious. This case transcends the specific individuals and entities involved, going far beyond Trump or CBS. It raises fundamental questions about the very future of journalism and its role in a democratic society. What do you think? Is this a win for truth and accountability, or a significant blow to the freedom of the press?